Hello and welcome to this tutorial from the Faal ICT Academy video library. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to format and style your research paper using the APA style system. As you can see, I'm using Microsoft Office Word 2013. So you may be using Microsoft Word 2007, 2010 or 2016, but the options are going to be the same. So I will show you how to actually format and style the document using the APA standards, and then also how to save it as a template so that you can always use that as your research paper whenever you make a research. Now first, what we're going to do is we're first going to change the paper size, because basically if you go to, by default, if you go to the page layout tab here and then you go to size, and then when you click on size, you'll see that by default it is set to letter size, which is 8.5 by 11 inches, and then we're going to change it to A4, which is 8.27 by 11.69. So that's the first thing you're going to do. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to margins here and check. So the margins should be left to normal, which is, having 1 inch on all the sides, top, bottom, left and right should be 1 inch. So we need to confirm that. So that's the second step. And then the other step is, let's go back to the home tab here, and then we're going to shed the font size and the font face. Now as you can see, by default the font face is Calibri body, and then the font size is size 11. So the APA standard is font size of 12, and the recommended font face is Times New Roman. So we're gonna say we're gonna set that, we're gonna change it from this. So what you need to do now is go to the font dialog box launcher button here, and then when you click on it, the font dialog box will appear. So we can just search for Times New Roman, and then we select it, and then we choose size 12. Now as you can see, we have set it to Times New Roman, and then the size is also 12. Now you have a button here that says set as default. Let's say, for example, if you want to make these settings as the default, or you want to change it from this Calibri 11, so that any other document that you create now, it will be Times New Roman and also size 12. You can choose all documents based on this normal template, but if you want these settings to only affect this document, then you can say this document only. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to choose the first one, this document only. I don't want this to affect other documents. So I'll click OK, and that's it. Now if you look at here on top, now you'll see Times New Roman instead of Calibri body, and then you'll also see 12 instead of 11. Okay, now the next step is going to be how our paragraphing. We're going to change the paragraphing. So we'll go to the paragraph group here, and then we click on the dialog box launcher, and then as you can see, we have two tabs on top. So we're going to focus on the indents and spacing. So on the general here, we make sure that the alignment is set to left, the outline level is set to body text. Okay, the indentation here, we leave it to 00 here, but when we come to spatial here, we're going to use first line. So what that will do is, like for example, the first line of each paragraph is going to be indented, just like in the preview here, right? The first line is indented, and the other lines, as you can see, they are all aligned to the left, but the first line of any paragraph is going to be indented like that. And then when you come to spacing here, we have to make sure that all the extra spaces that Microsoft Word creates by default, we set them to 0, so 00. And then line spacing, the recommended APA line spacing is double, so we choose double. As you can see, you will see the difference. If I choose single, if you look at here, the spacing, and then if I choose double, you'll see the difference. And then we don't also want Microsoft Office to add extra space between paragraphs of the same style, so we check that one also. And if we want also, we can set this styling, this paragraph settings as default if we want for this document over all the other documents that we're going to create. So we're going to say this document only. So we click OK. So we have done that. Now after doing that, what we're going to do now next is to insert our page number. So to do that, we go to the insert tab, and then we go to the group called header and footer, and then we go to the page number. Now after the page number, when you click here, you'll see top of page, bottom of page, page margin, current position. So we're going to choose top of page, and as you can see, we have plain number 1, which is which will place the numbering to the left hand side, plain number 2 to the center, and plain number 3 to the right. So we're going to put the numbering to the right hand side, so we're going to choose plain number 3. Now as you can see, we have the number on the first page here, and as you can see, we are inside the header now. The header is within the top margin of the Microsoft Word document. So what we're going to do next is we're going to type our running head. So we're going to type running head with a colon, and then we type the title of the paper, the title of the document. So in this case, this is just a template that we are creating. So what we need to do now, maybe we can just say APA. So it should be capital letters, everything should be capital letters. The running head should be capital letters. The title of the running head should be capital letters. So what we're going to do is APA style template, right? Or APA research paper, okay, template, something like that. APA style research paper, or we say APA style research paper template, right? So this text should come on the left hand side here, and then the number on the right hand side. So what we need to do, we just need to click there. We go to the home tab, and then we click on the left align, or we can press Ctrl L. So that should take it to the left hand side. And next, what we need to do is to click here and then press the tab key, which will bring the numbering to the right hand side. Okay, so what we need to do next is to close the header. Now to close the header, we can either come to the design tab and then click close header and footer, or if you want, you can press escape on your keyboard, that is the ESC key, or if you want, you can just double click anywhere within the page area here. So when you double click, as you can see, you have your running head on top. So remember, the running head should be title case, but the title here should be capitalized, and you should have a number on the right hand side, and then this one on the left hand side. So now, as you can see, when you insert header inside the document, any other page that you insert, now let's say for example, if I press Ctrl and enter, I will have a new page. Now as you can see, the new page will have the same heading as the first page, and then the numbering now will be page number 2. Okay, now I'm going to undo that. I'm going to undo the creation of the second page. So now we only have one page. So what we need to do next is to insert another page. Now that other page will only contain this heading instead of running head. They will have the same, but except the second page is not going to have running head. So what we need to do, we're going to copy this. We're going to select this, only this, and then copy it, and then we close the header. So what we need to do next is we're going to this page layout tab, and then come to break here, and then we are going to create what they call a section break. So as you can see, it says next page, insert a section break and start the new section on the next page. So when you click on it, automatically it will create a new page and create a section break. So when we double click here, as you can see, you're going to have what they call another section. You say header section 2, but when you scroll up, you'll see header section 1. So that means you have created a section break. Now if I, for example, delete this running head from the second section and then go back up, you'll see that it will also be deleted in the first header. So let me undo that. Now to make sure that they are not linked, you have to make sure you are in the header and footer tab here, which is design, and then you click this button which is link to previous. So when you click that, now the first header and the second header are no more linked. So you can now delete this running head, because remember the running head should only appear in the first page. And then now when you scroll up, you'll see that running head is here with the title of the document, and then here you don't have the running head, you only have the title. Okay, now you can click close header and footer. Now as you can see, you have the running head here, but you don't have it here. So that's the tricky part of this document. So next, what we need to do is to create. Now for example, if I create another page here, Control plus N, you'll see that they will all follow the second one, not the first one. Okay, now what we need to do next is to add another page break for our references page. We go to page layout, we click on breaks, and we click on next page on the section breaks, and then we double click here. Or if we want, we can leave this to be there and leave the page number also, or we can do the same thing. We say link to previous, we unlink it, then we can remove this and maybe the number, and then we close. So now we have three section breaks. So we have the first one, the first page contains the running head and the title of the document, and then the second one contains only the title without the running head, and then as you can see, the third page contains no running head here, no title. So we're going to use that as reference page. So the reference type reference list, right? So the reference list should be centered. Okay, now this page also should have a special formatting. So we'll go to the paragraph. So we have to make sure we are in this page, our cursor is inside this page, and when we go to paragraph, we choose left here, and then the settings, yes, make sure everything here is 0. So instead of first line, just like we did to the other pages, we're going to choose hanging. So our reference is going to be hanging, so that means the lines below will be indented. The lines below will be indented. So we click OK. So that means the document, this page now is using a special formatting different from the other ones. So we can put that one at the center now. Okay, so after doing that, let's test and see how it's going to work. So we come here and then click on center, because everything should be at the center in the first page. Then we press enter several times. So what we need to do here is to first type the title of the document. Here we have the title of the document. So everything should be title case, title of the document, the paper, or you just say title of the paper, it should be title case. And then next, your name, and then you have the course name or code, and then you have your institution's name, or you say name of institution, okay. So remember, everything here should be centered. And then when we go to the next page, let's say here we can have what they call abstract. The abstract should be a summary of your paper, so the abstract should be centered. Okay, then we click on align left here. So this is a summary of your paper. So this is going to be a summary of your paper. Now let's see, for example, let's just use the run here and then check how it's going to look like. Now as you can see, because we set the let me just delete this for now. Now because we set it to first line, remember when we went to paragraph here, we set this to first line, so the first line will be indented of 0.5, and the remaining, and then the if you look at the double spacing also, so this is how it's going to work. So your abstract should be at least 150 to 250 characters, not right, on one page here. So how will you know you have 150 characters or 250? You just highlight the text and then you look at the bottom here. So as you can see, what I highlighted is 93. So I can highlight more and see. So as you can see, I have 239. So the abstract is just a summary of your research paper. Okay, now let's do the last one here, which is styling the headings. So what we need to do, we will come to the heading styles here. So the APA styling has let's go to the browser. Let me show you something. Now if you look at, you have APA headings. So you have level 1 to level 5. So this is how the headings are supposed to be formatted. Like heading 1 here should be centered with a boldface, uppercase and lowercase headings, and then this other one should be left aligned. So let's start with the first heading style. So we go back to the Microsoft Word document. So as you can see, in Microsoft Word you have the heading style. So what you need to do is just right click and then click modify, and then here you change it. Remember, everything should be Times New Roman and the font size should be 12. So for this the font color should be automatic, which is black, and then it should be centered, right? It should be centered. So we click OK. So that's the formatting for heading 1. Now let's go back and check the formatting for heading 2. So left align, boldface, uppercase and lowercase. Okay, so when we go back here, we right click. So it's almost the same, Times New Roman 13 or 12 rather, automatic. That one shouldn't be centered, it should be left aligned, so that's okay. So now that we have heading 1 and heading 2 modified, so you can repeat the same steps for heading 3, heading 4 and heading 5 by just using this AP. You can just search on Google, or you go to this address here. You go to this address, you'll see the heading formats, and then you can format yours exactly that way. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to save this document as a template. Now you can save it, for example, you can go to save as and then save it as whatever you want to save it, and then you reuse it, but I prefer saving it as a template. So when I click save as and then go to browse here, so I can come here, the save as type, and then I change it to Word template. Okay, maybe I say APA style. So automatically, as you can see, it will take me to the custom office templates folder automatically. So I can click save. So now the document has been saved as a template, not as a normal document, but as a template. So whenever I want to use it now, for example, let me just create a new document by pressing Ctrl N. So let's say I want to use that APA styling. I already saved it as a template, so I can go to file and then go to new, and then come here to personal, and then when I click on personal, you see I will see the document here, the APA style. So I can just click on it, and then bam, I have the document open. So all I need to do now is to edit the information there and then use that. So I hope this tutorial helps. If you have any questions, you can comment below this video, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then also click on the notification button so that you can receive alerts whenever I publish a new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.